What's the definition of a generational player, since we throw it around too much these days?
We are throwing away too much, because generational should be like you are once in a generation. That should be technically going through. It should be Bill Russell / Wilt. Kareem.
Well, Michael Jordan, Steph, right?
Yeah. So even
LeBron,
even already,
Wemby.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. So I was going all the way back. So I was going.
So what's the hard cutoff though? Like, who's the guy that's right there but's not generational? KD? He got to be generational, right?
Yeah, exactly. So how many guys do we do? I mean, like, or do we allow 3 generational? Because
I guess like the guys like who are right under there but aren't there are like kind of like a James Harden, like a Russell Westbrook, right?
Yeah,
that's probably like the
I
line.
A lot of people have Kawhi as the 4th guy of this, which I think there's an interesting conversation in terms of because the injuries have really ruined him recently.
I also think generational should mean you were undeniable from the beginning. Like when I think of Michael Jordan actually wasn't, so that's interesting, right?
Well, Jordan was just getting underrated, like.
Right, like a lot of the generational players don't. Like Wemby wasn't underrated. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wasn't underrated. Wilt wasn't underrated. LeBron wasn't underrated. You know?
Michael Jordan, I think, was also, though, just pure nonsense. Like, it was just back in the day where I guess they weren't, like, the scouting. I don't know what they were doing, but he led the gold medal team to the
84 was crazy. Yeah, 84. Yeah.
Huge, I guess, Michael Jordan fun fact if we think about it. He was the last college player to win a gold medal, and then he was on the dream team that won it right after. So he was the last guy, and then there's the gap and him. But back then, Bob Knight was basically saying he could walk on water. Like, Bob Knight is one of the most respected Hall of Fame coaches of all time, and he's like calling the Portland Trailblazers general manager, who I remember his name, Stu Inman, because I remember this story so well. He's calling him, and he's like, you got to draft Michael Jordan. This is insane. You have to draft him. And then, infamously, Stu Inman was like, oh, we're looking at a big man. We're looking at Bowie. And then Bob Knight screamed into the phone, then play Jordan at center. You know, it was like Michael Jordan was doing things like dropping 30 in the Olympics, coming into halftime and being like, coach, you don't have to say a word to Bob Knight. Like, it was like he transcended Bob Knight, which, I mean, a lot of people won't know how insane Bob Knight was, but Bob Knight was like
YouTube Chair and Bobby Knight. You'll figure it out.
I mean, you know what's funny about that? I actually randomly saw that recently. I think it popped up, and it was like that happened 4 minutes into the game. Like that throwing the chair, like I always thought it was like this terrible call at the end of the game that ruined the game. And he just throws a chair across the court 4 minutes into the game because he's mad. It's like, okay, man. I mean, that was bad. That whole moment is just so awkward. He throws the chair and then everyone just like doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
How about the fact he like choked out a student though? Like he actually physically choked out a student who was mad at him. I'm yelling at him.
And he just kept his job through it all.
He's 6'4", so it's not like Bob Knight choking out someone is some small thing. Like Bob Knight is a huge man choking out a teenager.
Yeah. How do you think Michael Jordan's game would translate to the modern NBA?
I think incredibly well. I mean, I think we're talking 35 to 40 points a game. I have Michael Jordan as the GOAT. I think that when we look at past eras, we need to consider the fact that these guys weren't training to shoot the three-pointer. So you look at Larry Bird. He's never was putting up 12 threes a game, even though he had the ability to, because that's just not the way basketball was played back then. That's not the way they were coached. Very simple. Like, if you're doing something that, you know, your coach is like, hey, chill, stop doing that. You know, you back then, especially too, they actually did what their coaches wanted them to do. So Jordan, back then, you lived by the mid-range. He has one of the best mid-range games of all time. Also, we do have to factor in the no hand check rule, the no physical defense. We're talking before about college basketball, how it's like the spacing is, you can just notice it. Go watch a game from back in the 80s and 90s. it's like the spacing is the exact same thing. You've got two guys in the post clogging up everything. No one can shoot, so you're dribbling the ball. Like Michael Jordan, it's not just his own spacing. It's not just like, okay, you can hold on to him, physically hold on to him. Hand check rule, super underrated. Like, you're able to use your hand to guide him, right? But not only that, he breaks free to the rim. You have two guys that are about to elbow you in the neck if you actually go, right? And there's not even going to be a flagrant foul called. On top of that, you have no one who can shoot around you. You have, like, every now and then, the Steve Kerr. You have, like, one Steve Kerr on the court as everyone else is unable to shoot. So the spacing is not there, and he's still averaging 35 points per game. Like, yeah, he'd be insane. Right now, he'd be. I don't think we could comprehend how good he'd be. I mean, it would. I would think his game would probably be more well-rounded, but in this current era, I don't think averaging 40 a game would be nuts. We've seen the guys averaging, around 35 at this point.
Well, he averaged 37 1 year, right?
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just aged, and it's just, I mean.
Him versus the Celtics, like what he was doing in traffic, it was so clogged. Like he was scoring against his own team and hanging in the those were tough shots.
Over your own big men, like your own big men are contesting your shots basically. Like you have no space ever. Like,
and forget about spot up threes. Like John Paxson was spotting up from mid range. You know what I mean?
Spotting up from 15 feet. You're like it's insane. And again, and every team is playing two big men. So you're going up against two traditional big men down there in the post to score over on the left and the right. So it's like it's not like you're driving to the right now modern NBA. You come down. Where's the center planted? Oh, he's on the left side. You can strategically now attack the right, so you're not directly attacking the center. There's two guys planted there, and your escape hatch pass is to a 15-footer that doesn't even make sense. That you also, Michael Jordan wasn't trusting everyone as well. But yeah, I mean, we saw his scoring efficiency too. It's not like we're looking at the 60s or the 70s and we're looking at a guy shooting 40-something%. And it's not like Bob Cousy, who legitimately shot 40%. Or Isaiah Thomas, who also shot, he wasn't as efficient. Michael Jordan, his analytics for that era are insane, because when you consider the fact that they weren't looking at analytics, they weren't perfecting the game. The scouting report was this guy likes to go left, so force him left. It wasn't but it wasn't LeBron comes down the court in ISO situations. When he calls for a pick and roll on the right side, he then rejects the screen 37% of the time. And then dribbles with his left hand, one move to the basket. That's how advanced these scouting reports are now. Michael Jordan would have taken advantage of everything, too. We know that he is the GOAT competitor and that he was always willing to improve his game. So, I mean, I think we'd just be, watching this insane... Because I think he would get the three-point shot, too. I know that's not a guaranteed.
I mean, he had six of them and a half against Portland. Remember that?
Did the shrug, sorry,
yeah.
Clyde.
I mean, look, shouts to the generation that didn't get to see Michael Jordan play, live. Not to age myself too much, but how do you feel about the videos that are they show a modern NBA player and they do a crazy move or something, or they get a reverse in, or they switch hands, and then they say NBA players are doing what Michael Jordan did every play.
They would have called this the shot that stopped time.
Yeah. How do you feel about when you see that? Because you can't just really isolate highlights and then talk about who's the better player, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just what ends up happening. I mean, what is hard about basketball, to be fair, is that it's so different. We're watching a game where it's suddenly everyone is shooting threes, the space, everyone is analytically sound. You cannot win unless you are following specific principles. So, yeah. I mean, it makes the conversations weird, because then you take the 72-win Bulls and you're like, well, how would they fare in the modern era when they can't shoot? And it's like, okay, realistically, they'd have a very difficult time. But I think Michael Jordan's 100% getting disrespected. People don't understand. Like, they just don't, they're not getting, like, they don't take into account. They're only going like, oh, like, played against plumbers, this, that. It's like, here's other things.
Well, the plumber generation keeps coming closer and closer this way.
Yeah. Like, at first it was the 60s.
Now to like the 2010s are going to be plumbers
Allen
soon.
Iverson's going to be called a plumber soon. Yeah, but also, like, we could do the reverse argument. The reverse argument would be these guys were actually playing for a paycheck. Like, there wasn't any guy that was getting paid $20 million, averaging 12 points a game as a role player, So,
well, with the lifestyle of some NBA players now, they might still be playing for a paycheck, believe it. I mean, shouts to Floyd. He's about to come back to boxing. I don't know what his financial situation is, but I mean, he's coming back to boxing. I don't know what's going on.
It's tough. It's tough when
they
scale their lives up,
Yeah.
Shout out to Allen Iverson for realizing that in himself, and then like he stashed away a few million or whatever for when he gets it when he's 50.
Also, that's awesome. Yeah, shouts to AI. I think he was saying that he's sober now too, which is good. Good for congrats to him. Congrats to AI.
Allen Iverson.
100%.
But yeah, I think though if you did the reverse, it's like you have players that are playing for their paycheck right then and there. These guys are playing all 82 games. We're not having any of this modern like you were the guy since middle school. And everyone loved you. Like, you were grinding to get here, and now you're, like, you have to be competitively locked in every single game, or you're going to not get a contract, or you're not going to be playing. So there's a whole different mentality that was going on back then. Are the guys more skilled now? Absolutely.
More skilled, more athletic, but the feel for the game is probably down a little bit. That's not what I always say.
Yeah, and like again, like the competitiveness, like I would.
Yeah, that's true too.
I think just on a day-to-day basis, night-to-night basis, like there was no taking any games off.
Is Michael Jordan more athletic than Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, I think Jordan, like, his vertical leap was measured like 44 plus inches.
And I think his first step might have been even quicker than Ant's too.
Yeah.
His first step was crazy.
It is just hard to tell because like we're not watching Michael Jordan run down the court in this spaced out era. We're watching him like it's like back then it's like a hockey game. Like you're dribbling into the court, and like if you're watching a normal game, not just highlights, like you are watching someone bail down the court and like be running into like 4 different bodies at once and like finishing over like multiple guys.
Yeah, but because of the evolution of the game, Anthony Edwards might be more skillful when it comes to options as an offensive player, but that's like the evolution of basketball,
Yeah, that's where the question gets like where it's like, okay, if you were to take Michael Jordan in a time machine and just drop him in the game now and he couldn't shoot like he could and people are just like going way back on him, then yeah, it's going to be more difficult. He'll find a way to make it work how he can, but then you have Anthony Edwards who has the athleticism, who's averaging 30 points per game in the modern NBA and, is able to shoot around, high levels for 3 on an extremely high volume. It's like, yeah, if you put Anthony Edwards right now in that, like in the 90s, I would think Anthony Edwards is scoring 35 plus because I think a lot of guys would be. What would happen if you put Peyton Pritchard in the 90s? Like, and he's just cash from 3. Like he would be Steph Curry. Like no one would know what to do though. Like you'd have a guy who would be capable of making 8 threes a game.
Well, he also just has the information that it's good to shoot more threes.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, yeah.
But also he's practiced to the point where he's making like 40+%.
Well, shouts to my guy who I do a regular podcast with, Dana Barros. I mean, he was shooting 40% on like 6 threes a game back then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's
if he was playing if he was playing now, he'd probably shoot 15 of them. And average, who knows, 25, 30. Who knows?
And then he gets paid so much more.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for those guys.
Yeah, 100%. Top 3 NBA players of all time.
Jordan, LeBron, 1, 2. I guess like the default is just Kareem. I don't
Better
know.
than Larry Bird?
So here's my thing with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson is that when you have, I think Kareem. I mean, it's tough. It is tough. You know what I'll say? Because a lot of Kareem's dominance came pre-merger, right? So that gets underrated. Like his MVPs and a lot, like the titles, like we have like, those Bucks days. It was like
More plumbers pre-merger, more plumbers.
But yeah, when the merger happened, I was surprised to find this out. When the merger happened, the very first NBA All-Star game post-merger, half of the players were from the ABA. So the ABA had half of the NBA All-Stars playing in their league. So that is not something small to say. Like imagine right now you took away half of the All-Star talent out of the league and like half.
That reminds me of like the NWO with WWE, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of makes Kareem's case a little lesser. I mean, I think Larry Bird. Here's the thing with Larry and Magic, though. I think either of them had the chance. I believe when Magic retired, I believe the public perception was he may have been the best guy ever before Jordan. But like I think it was still like Wilt was still close enough where it's like he was mythical.
Well, the numbers when you average 50, I mean that's mythical. It's mystique.
That's generational.
That's generational.
Yeah,
legit.
That's actually generational. Yeah, I mean among his peers when they
and then not to cut you off, and he led the league in assists one year just because he felt like it. Wilt.
Yeah. Also, yeah. I mean that was nuts. That was that goes both ways. I'm like I grew up reading Bill Simmons, and so. My perception on that stat is all warped because Bill Simmons is, of course,
he's definitely a Will Chamberlain. Yeah, he's definitely a Will Chamberlain hater.
He's such a Will Chamberlain hater. So he would be but I would love to see the tapes because he said that Wilt was purposely like had a wide open layup and would just turn around and pass to his teammate for a jump shot because he wanted the assist instead.
But that also shows how great you are.
It's pretty. If he was costing his team wins, then that's insane. But that would be hilarious. Like imagine we're watching right now a guy he's wide open for layup and he's trying to lead the league in assists and instead just dishing it off.
I think there's probably more examples of that we even know. Like some of the assist guys, they just want to
with the gambling era.
But yeah, that's a whole other topic for another day.
Yeah.
What's the biggest what if in NBA history?
Well, final answer in the three. I guess.
Well, I thought you said Kareem. I think you know what? I used to have that 3 too, but now I'm thinking like Larry Bird could initiate
Apex. Like, how are we talking about this?
That's what makes it fun,
That is Apex is what makes it more fun. Like,
well, Larry Bird's peak was top 3 to me.
Yeah, he won 3 MVPs in a row. I mean, there's certainly a case like Bird's number 3 overall. I mean, a lot of people would be angry at that.
So my 3 is Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Larry Bird.
I won't argue with it. I think the third spot is the one that's just completely up for grabs. And like Kareem's kind of a cop-out answer. It's not a fun answer. I'm jumping on Larry Bird with you. Let's go. Let's just Larry Bird. Also, Larry's been getting love lately. We're talking about the Michael Jordan, like the moment that stopped time shot. I've been seeing a lot of Larry Bird highlights with him just doing some crazy dunks and everything.
And you did a trash talk video. Like his trash talk was legendary. Yeah.
But yeah, he was. We need a guy like that. We need trash talk stories like that.
Yeah.
The infamous on Christmas Day Chuck Person when he goes before the game, "Hey Chuck, I've got a present for you," and then in the middle of the game shoots a 3 right in Chuck Person's face, drains it, and he goes, "Merry effing Christmas." It's like amazing.
Yeah, I mean he used to call out what he would do and do it.
The entire game left-handed.
Yeah, he dropped 27 that game. Yeah.
You just played a game left-handed. Imagine being that good that you're just like, I'm just gonna play this game left-handed.
We solidified it here. Larry Bird's the 3rd greatest player in NBA history. There you go.
I mean, if you look at the numbers, I think people would actually be shocked if they looked at the numbers because.
Well, he was close to like 30, 10, and 10 at one point, right? He was pretty close.
He was putting up incredible stats, but also he had 3 MVPs in a row, right? Won like all the championships as the guy. If we take like Magic had Kareem on his team. Yeah, we had McHale, we had Parrish, we certainly had Hall of Famers, but Larry Bird was also certainly the guy. Magic more became the guy, even though he did win Finals MVP. His first season, he more became the guy in the second half of the 80s in those in the back-to-back championships they had then. But that was when Larry suddenly his back just gave out on him because of the most wholesome reason, because of laying concrete for his grandmother's driveway. It's like, I mean,
what a guy! What a guy!
Like for his grandma.
Well, he was doing sanitation before he transferred colleges. Did you know about that? Yeah.
Yeah, he gave up basketball. He went because he was supposed to play for Bob Knight. So he
hated it there. He hated it there.
Yeah, he hated it there because he just was so.
Larry Bird's career could have ended right there. He could have just kept doing sanitation.
Yeah, in fact, he wanted it to end. He was not the one. Like everyone else was like, Larry Bird, you need to go play basketball. This is insane.
He's like Jokic. Like he'd rather just go take out the garbage. And it's like his horses,
Maybe he just wanted to be a farmer or something. Yeah,
he probably did. But
and they were just like, nah, you've got to go drop 30 on Magic Johnson's head.
Why do you think Kobe's ranking is so polarizing?
I don't know. People, that's it. Everything always comes in waves. It's like
yes.
So at first it's like, okay, Kobe, we love him, and then it's like then he starts to get backlash. Then he passes away, so then the love becomes tremendously high, and now we're just in the reverse wave of like, okay, like now it's nitpick him, but end of the day, I mean.
Analytics community is definitely like, they're doing their nitpicking.
They don't love him. They don't love him. But like, it's the same thing as baseball, where until analytics were such a part of the game, it's really hard to judge on that. Like people just throw that out of the window as if it's like analytics back then weren't great. That's why Jokic right now is setting the record for PER every season. It's like we know what optimal basketball is now. It's like the movie Moneyball with baseball, but being played out in real life. And so Kobe, at the end of the day, though, won championships. It's weird. You get a Kawhi, you get him, and it's like, oh, he won a championship. So some people will rank him, ahead of James Harden, and they'll discount James Harden's 30-point per game seasons because they'll be like, what, Kawhi was the guy that won a championship, and he won 2 Finals MVPs. And so it's and I actually think Kawhi. Side note.
That's a good one, actually. That's a good one. James Harden or Kawhi? That's a tough question. Yeah.
I think in 10 years, I think the answer will be undoubtedly Kawhi. Now I'm not saying that's my answer.
Unless the Cavs win this year.
True, yeah. Or next year when LeBron goes there.
True.
But I think Kawhi's career is in a weird place where when he retires, it will age and like people will appreciate him more. It's just like right now he's just been injured. He was the face of sitting out of games, but we'll suddenly remember like, oh yeah, he was 2014 Finals MVP. Oh yeah, he did finish second in MVP voting at least twice. He was 2019 Finals MVP leading Toronto. That matters a lot. So yeah, with Kobe, I don't know why that gets discounted because you have Kobe. He has 2 separate eras where he was. It's not like with Shaq. Like the first season with Shaq, yeah, he averaged I think 21. It's like the next season he was averaging like 27 a game. So
yeah,
young Kobe was phenomenal playing with Shaq. Shaq doesn't win those. It's not like Shaq carried this team. They should be like they absolutely need.
Well, it was always debate who was the best player on those teams, right? It was always a debate. Yeah.
And then Kobe though goes on to have the better post career over Shaq.
Well, that was a lot to do with the work ethic, right? Like taking care of himself. Yeah.
Also, let's think of those Lakers teams. They were not overpowered. Like Pau Gasol is a solid all-star level guy for sure. Andrew Bynum was good. Like he was a good player.
Lamar Odom, great role player.
Like Lamar Odom, 6 Man of the Year candidate. Like they had a good core. They were not the current Thunder. They were not like this team that had like this incredible cast around them. You could certainly argue the Celtics with multiple Hall of Famers had possibly even a better team, and then Kobe was just the clearly defining generational player of that era with him and Tim Duncan. It's like him and Tim Duncan in the 2010s. But yeah, I mean, and I would say the same thing with Duncan. It's like, okay, Tony Parker and Manu were incredible players, but they also were not like
Manu might average like 27 if you give him the keys in this era.
Manu Ginobili, if he wasn't playing six man and everything, I mean,
and today, like with the way they play, with the information he would have, like he was tough, man.
He was filthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's led Argentina to a gold medal.
Yeah.
Super underrated.
Shouts to House of Highlights. I was like, that's James Harden with a killer instinct or with a clutch gene.
Yeah, man. Man was filthy. But
yeah.
Why does Kobe get hate? I guess just because it comes in waves. I don't know. And the analytics community, they look at the negatives of him, but
man, I've been shouts to my guy Coach Nick. He's killing me with like the Cade stuff because he's like, he cannot be an MVP if his at the rim finishing is not good. I'm like, how about the results, Coach Nick? How about the results? Like, he's the best player on the best team, and he's doing it with less of a supporting cast. Like, that's my thing. Like, analytics, awesome, but we have to just kind of like look at what's going on too. We don't want to hyper focus on anything.
It's like, what's the most important stat? It's win. Like, I won.
And then also doing it with it like his second best guy. Jalen Duren got a lot better, but last year was like Malik Beasley, the way he was. You know what I mean? It's like Jalen Brunson has Mikal, OG, Cat. Like, Kate doesn't have that, and he's just doing more,
Yeah, and they also didn't have any winners. Like, he created a winning culture himself, that's like a true superstar. Love Kate.
Yeah.
I mean, they got
Kate,
Tobias Harris over there.
Yeah, it's Tobias Harris. Last thing, what's the biggest what if in NBA history?
Biggest what if? I think so. Okay. Okay. What did I answer? I'm gonna change it. Okay. Biggest what if in NBA history? I'm gonna throw a curveball here. What if Derrick Rose never got injured? What if he was healthy for his entire career? There's never been a player. So we had a Greg Oden, right, where we're like, okay, he could be generational, but he could be the big man of a generation, the all-time big man. But we never saw it in action for a long time. We saw a guy like Brandon Roy play at an all-star level, be very good, and never quite get there. We saw Tracy McGrady. His back gave out on him towards the end of his career. Not towards the end, but towards his second half of his 20s. So, like, his career wasn't extended. But we did get to see prime T-Mac. We did get to see what he was doing. T-Mac might be a secondary guy here. Derrick Rose, to have a guy win MVP in the third season of his career and then just suddenly go down with injuries and never be the same player again. He was undoubtedly better than Russell Westbrook. Like, it wasn't a conversation. There was no conversation. If you picked 100 fans at the time, it would be 100 people would have chose Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose led the Bulls points per game, assists per game. He was on a Chicago team known as a defensive, menace. Derrick Rose was the offensive guy that got them the number one seed in the East over the Miami Heat with LeBron and Wade. I mean, we're talking about taking the guy that could have been the better version of Russell Westbrook, the winning version of Russell Westbrook. Don't want shots at Russ right now, but we have a proven winner. We have a proven MVP winner whose career is just zapped from us. So it just gives us all of these different, like, what could have been. Because if Derrick Rose was averaging, 32 a game, at his peak, like 32 and 8, if he's battling against LeBron, if he's battling against Steph when Steph emerges, it really is a what could we have possibly seen, because we see Russ still producing at this age. So it's not like we had to have a guy whose game was built on athleticism not be able to still be athletic for a very long time. Like, it could have happened. It just was very unfortunate that he suffered that injury. And What we also saw was his work ethic was relentless. Like, he worked to get back on the court 3 separate times. I mean, the willpower after you go down with that kind of injury for the 3rd time to be like, okay, I'm actually going to go through all the physical therapy and do all this to get back on the court again, shows us that insane mental fortitude. And it's just like, he was different in the NBA. When you're considered a different type of athlete, I mean, and you watch the videos, you watch the I'm Coming Home Chicago mixtape. Why can't I be MVP? I'll say Derrick Rose.
I like it, yeah. I mean, and also, like, he showed flashes even after the comebacks. Like, Minnesota dropping 50, everybody was really happy for him because of that, because they saw the...
Did you hear Jeff Teague tell that story?
No, I got to go back, because his story...
Just watch the clip. It is... Jeff Teague is so funny, but it's just like, he's talking about they all were crying. He's like, we all were crying on the bench. He's like, for some reason, we're all crying.
That shows the love that guy
gets. Derrick Rose, yeah, he's just like, he's a player's champ. You know, everyone loves him for a reason, though. It was, you get that kind of just respect where it's just, he was a silent killer. You couldn't shake him. He just was out on the court. He wasn't talking. He just was just, and they used to call it, I think it was called the Rose Flu. Where it was most.
Yeah, I think did Gilbert talk about that? Somebody talked about that. Yeah,
where it was. Oh, Derrick Rose. I gotta play Derrick Rose. I'm out.
Are you hearing like the Rashad McCann stuff where it's like been 3 pre-draft workouts or 3 workouts where he all of a sudden was sick or hurt after he was about to match up with somebody 1-on-1 or 2-on-2?
Who Rashad was?
Rashad McCann's. Yeah, like all of a sudden he would get sick or hurt after before every like workout.
Rashad McCann's, I mean, has his revisionist history of his own.
Well, he knows what he got to be rage baiting, right? He knows what he's doing.
I see, like,
or that's just him, or he's just natural rage bait. He really believes everything he's saying.
Well, because like to get to that level, you have to have a certain confidence in yourself. So, is he rage baiting? Because they're like, Gilbert also is like throwing himself like softballs. He's like, who's the best player like out of all of us? And it's like, Gilbert's averaging 30 points per game in the real NBA. Brandon Jennings is like, in high school I would have cooked you all. And it's like, all right.
And Rashad definitely thinks he's the best player out of all of them, right?
Rashad goes, yeah, but I had the Sports Illustrated cover. It's like, I don't know if this is and did Gilbert not get one after his whole incident? Maybe?
Hey, they know what they're doing when it comes to content, though. Like they got a content machine over there. Yeah.
They got a great crew.
Yeah. Sure. Mike, thanks for taking the time. Where can we find you? What's the next video on? Can you give us a sneak peek?
My YouTube channel, just Mike Korzemba.
Yo, you've been doing this a long time, bro.
Insanely long time.
How long have you been YouTubing?
It's like 9-10 years.
Yeah, how has it changed? Like, how have you evolved, and what do you think is different now than when you first started? You know, what would be your like advice to basketball YouTubers?
My advice would be try to stand out and be different, because it's all the content is so. Right now, you're battling against so many people just to get eyeballs. If we look at what's that, Lethal Shooter, where he's like, now I understand. Or now I get it, whatever he said.
Yeah, I understand it now.
I understand now. Sorry, let's shoot. But so like we get that, like there were so many guys that were doing those kind of trick shot type things, and then he did that, and it's like, okay, like he has a thing that is working for him. I mean, obviously it's hard to think of something like that, but you really got to find a way to differentiate yourself right now if you're starting out, because it's so difficult. I mean, there's so many guys that are already doing it. When I started, I was the first guy doing it. No one was making NBA storytelling videos. No one was making NBA commentary. It was the only person that was doing anything similar was Chris Smoove, who would react to games, but it's not the same. So it's like he was
mostly a voice, right? Like he would talk over the game highlights. Yeah.
Chris Smoove, an absolute OG. You know, paved the way for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was just absurdly different. I mean, there was no competition back then. Like, and I didn't have to, the biggest thing is I didn't have to think about content. Like now it's like thinking about an idea is harder than executing the idea by far. Like the idea of the video is much more difficult than what, because it's like, well, what's going to get eyeballs? What like is an actual interesting take? I would say, yeah, providing though value, that trying to find a space and providing value that no one else is providing, which like an example would be my what ifs. Like I did that, no one else had seen a video like that, and that's what's coming up next. That's what we're currently working on. What if it's gonna be what if Luka Doncic was drafted #1 overall? So
That's dope.
it's a fun one. I'm really excited to bring it back. But yeah, I mean, I myself am pushing to like want to reach a new peak. So I've got a new second channel type vibe coming in the works as well that I think will be fun. So got a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, you got to differentiate yourself, and also super important in this era, if you were starting to just be big, to really be taking advantage of shorts, TikTok, and Instagram Reels. It's like you can't not.
So how does that kind of connect to what you do in long form? Because I feel like it's so different. Because I go viral on short form, but it's it's different with long form.
Mm-hmm. So I would say if you want the long form, like, so what you would want would be to have your face being shown, which that's way harder for me than just storytelling.
That's easy for me, Mike. Easy.
I mean, I'm very happy for you. I'm like cursed with this. No, I'm just kidding.
Rashad McKen's type confidence over here. Let's go though.
No, I mean, okay, I low-key do have that confidence too, but I mean, just mean in terms of like, I have like shorts where I haven't had my face in them. I have 20.
I think that is important. Yeah, I think that is important.
And so like, I was talking at House Highlights to Isaac, and he was like he's like, that's basically like no value in terms of like, because like you are, and it sounds like, I guess kind of lame to say, but you are trying to build a personal brand. Like you are trying to build like a
yes,
for like people to want to hear your opinion, regardless of whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Yeah, it's like connecting your face to everything. But I would say if you are trying to make the long form like adjustment as well, I think you want to have someone watch your short form content and to walk away being like, oh, I want to watch more of that, like in a longer setting.
But probably the most important thing is just making great videos, and they'll discover you on YouTube even more than connecting shorts or short form, right? Because like if you make a great produced video, which you do, it'll be discovered, right?
Yeah, but like I've legit had 20 million view shorts that have not translated to any main form. Like
that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's almost like its own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think a lot of that has to do, though, like, I think people that are experts at this are, like, they will draw you in with, like, okay, like, let's say AJ DeBonsa. It'll be like, is AJ DeBonsa really worth the #1 pick? And they'll give you great information where you walk away and you're like, that short, like, wow, that was awesome. But they then, like, hit with that, like, watch the full video on my YouTube channel.
And what do they put it in text at the end of the video, or like they?
Yeah, like or even like verbally say it, but they do it so quickly, and then you could link. Like on YouTube, you could link the video right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it just says related video, and
yeah.
And so as long as you provide enough high quality content, like 58 seconds, and then like the last 3 seconds are like watch the full video here. Like, I mean. You kind of have to put yourself in the viewer role at times. And like you're at that point, it's like multiple times I have watched a short and someone has said that. And I've been like, oh, I do want to watch this entire video,
right.
Or if I don't want to watch the video, I'm not mad about it. Like, I'm like, okay, like, sorry, I don't want to watch it, but it's also like, you don't want to do it in the middle. You want to do it like right at the end, because like, you want someone to be happy with what you created, and also like they can't swipe away at that point. Like,
you mean you think the middle is better than the end, or
the middle is worse? Middle is worse. You don't want to.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You want to.
You don't want there's a point. Yeah, you don't want a point where somebody will swipe away. if they're interested in something. Yeah.
Yeah, but like putting your face on the screen right away is good. I'm still experimenting with all those, so hopefully next time we talk, I am able to.
Well, I see on the YouTube videos, I mean, it's more of your face on the screen with the projections in the back, and you've been doing more of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. But also, even right there, interestingly, I noticed on my analytics that if I introduce my face 1 minute in, because like on YouTube, specifically, the first like 5 seconds, 30 seconds, and 1 minute all get graded very like highly. So if you at any point in those times lose a bunch of viewers, YouTube will not recommend your video as much. Like they view overall view duration is very important as well, but they also don't want like a giant spike down, because from there, I guess the way the algorithm's built, that would be perceived as you're misleading viewers. Like you're like, because okay, like they clicked a video and then 5 seconds in they're already away. It's like, oh, you must not be delivering on the promise, or you must have clickbaited them. Or like 30 seconds in, the same thing, or a minute in, same thing. So those are like very important milestones to hit. And I noticed that if I introduced my face cam like a minute in, I would lose like 10% of people immediately. But if
That's Mike again. I'm getting out of here.
if I introduce it past 2 minutes in, like 2.5 minutes in, I lose no one. So
interesting. The longer they stay in, the longer the chance they'll stay invested for the whole video. Yeah.
And like at that, so I think that has been, to me, what's worked. But like I've also seen people put their face cam on right away, and
well, if that's also their brand that they built too, that's another thing,
Yeah.
They're actually, so a little bit of that could just be the beginning of them not being used to that with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll help you in the long run.
Used to it. I mean, it used to be what I would do. I used to. I mean, old YouTube was just so easy compared to now. Like I used to just sit there and just yap for like 2.5 minutes.
With your face on the screen?
Yeah. Like it would be just me just talking. Like
you should just do you should
start with like, "Hey guys, by the way, I'm doing a giveaway." Like I would start. That would be the first 10 seconds. Like I wouldn't even draw in people, and those videos would crush.
Yeah.